Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing right now. Thank you, and let's get started. So today we are going to be looking at how you can use conditional formatting. So conditional formatting is a technique that you will need to use when you want to format one or more cells differently based on their contents. So we have different rules that we can apply in this conditional formatting. One is the highlighting of cells rules, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets, and new rules. And we are going to be looking at each of these in this video. So the first that we're going to be looking at is the highlight cells rule. So this highlight cells rule is one that we use to apply a format to a cell whose value is within a certain range. Okay, so when, for example, we have this range here, we can just click on this conditional formatting. Then we see the option of highlight cells rule. So to find this conditional formatting, you just click on home. Okay, so first is home, and then you click on this conditional formatting. Then you see highlight cells rule here. So when you come to these highlight cells rules, you'll see different options. So you choose greater than, less than, between, equal to, cells that contain a date occurring, duplicate values. All these are options you can choose. You can also create your own rule. But for now, let us use greater than and less than. So the first one that we're going to be looking at is greater than. Now, let's assume that this is a test score and we want to see students that scored greater than 80. Okay, so students that scored greater than 80, we want to give it a coloration. So we just click on this greater than and we add the number 80 here. Then under this width, we choose green. Okay, so we fill it with green and okay. Then for those that scored less than 60, okay, so we click on less than 60. We want to give it a red. So this is what conditional formatting can help us do. So we can see those that scored 80 and above and those that scored below 60. Then the next we should look at is the top to bottom rules. So top to bottom rules, it helps us apply a format to the top or bottom 10%, certain percent, 20%, as the case may be. So in our case, we may also decide to, okay, we have a certain range and we want to color it based on the top 10 items, top 20 items, depending on the rules that we use. So we have amongst the list of already existing ones, top 10 items, top 10%, and so on. So let's color this based on the top 10%. So we want to give our top 10% a green color. Okay. So this is supposed to be percent. I chose cells. So let me go back. Percent, not top 10 items now. Top 10%. And then I'm going to fill it with green color and okay it. And then another one I want to add is more. Let me use more rules. Okay. This time around, I want to use the bottom 30%. So under this format, values that rank in the bottom 30%, as you can see. So this, I'm gonna fill it with red. Okay. And then okay. So you can see my bottom 30% is also filled with red. Then data bars. Data bars will now allow us to add bars proportional to the value we have in each of these cells. Okay. So we click on conditional formatting, we have data bars. So we have options, either we choose the gradient fill or we choose the solid fill. So the gradient fill does not fill the color as thick as the solid fill is. Okay, so we can also create more rules here, but for now let's just click on the solid. Okay, then the next one is color scales. So in our color scales, we want to add shadings to each cell that is proportional to the cell value. Okay, and these will contain certain elements that we want to use to represent our values. So when we come to this shading now, we can decide to color with their predefined. Okay, so they are predefined here. You can see that we have the first one. The lowest is green, center is yellow, and then towards the end you have green. Sorry, the bottom is red, this middle is yellow, and then towards the end we have green. Then we have other options here where we can start with red, then to white, and then to green. So we can choose any one based on, and we can also create our rules. So under our more rules, we can decide to create two color scales where we give a certain color to one range and a certain color to the other range, or we can use three color scales just as we had in the other one. So for now, let's just select one of these so you can see. Then the next is icon sets. So in icon sets, we are adding certain icons. They are already existing there in Excel. So we add them based on the values that we have. So when you select conditional formatting and you come to icon sets, you can see different icons. These are directional, okay, and these are actually based on certain values that are already in Excel. Okay, so we can select any of these indicators. Okay, so if I select this one, you can see for our 10, 20, and 30, this is what we have. And then 80 to 100, this is what we have. Okay, so you can also create your own rules. That's another thing for each of them. Okay, then the last thing that I want to show us is the new rules. So for the new rules, we are the ones creating the rule that we want, and we have different options we can select from. So if we click on new rules, we can select format all cells based on their values, format only cells that contain, format only unique or duplicate. All this we can actually select based on our own options. So let's say we select format only cell. Let's say we can select between, not between, equal to, not equal to, and so on. So for this one, we want to select between. So between 40 and 80, and then we want to color it orange. Leave it orange and okay. So you can see we have given it our own conditional format based on the rules that we want. So that is what conditional formatting does. Conditional formatting helps us create formats based on the condition. Okay, so we apply the condition based on the condition that we want. We apply coloration and other elements to our cells, and that will help us easily identify what we want to identify. This will bring us to the end of this very video. If you were able to pick up something from this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so that others can be able to see as well. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.